this video, we are reading and discuss the questions of a snake in the grass. Let's read. Nature abounds with plants, trees, birds, insects, animals, etc. Aren't the animals and birds also the inheritors of the earth, like us? Don't they have the right to live on this earth as we have? If you find a snake in your garden or premises, what will you do? Here is an interesting story. Read on. A Snake in the Grass by R.K Narayan. It was a sunny afternoon. The inmates of the bungalow were at their siesta. A cyclist rang his bell at the gate frantically and shouted, "A big cobra has got into your compound. It crossed my wheel." He pointed to his track under the gate and resumed his journey. The family consisted of mother and her 4 sons. They were greatly agitated to hear the news. Soon they assembled the gate. Their old servant Dasa was sleeping in the shed. They shook him out of his sleep and told him about the arrival of the cobra. "There isn't any cobra here," he replied, and tried to dismiss the matter. They swore at him and wanted him to be serious. "The thing is somewhere here. If it is not found before the evening, we will dismiss you. You don't seem to care for the garden." Some neighbors dropped in. They looked accusingly at Dasa. "You have the laziest servant on earth," they said. "You ought to keep the surroundings tidy." "I have been asking for a grass cutter for months," Dasa said. In one voice, they ordered him to manage with the available things and learn not to make demands. Meanwhile, more neighbors assembled. They began discussing snake menace and the dangers of snake bite. They began helping the neighbor in every possible way. They tucked up their dhotis, seized every available knife and crowbar, and began to hack the garden. Creepers, bushes, and lawns were laid low. What could not be trimmed was cut to the root. The inner walls of the house brightened with unobstructed glass streaking in. When there was nothing more to be done, Dasa asked triumphantly, "Where is the snake?" An old beggar cried for alms at the gate. They told her that they were busy with the snake hunt. On hearing it, the old woman became happy. "You are fortunate. It is God Himself who has come to visit you. Don't kill the snake." Mother was in hearty agreement. "You are right. I forgot all about the promised Abshegam. This is the reminder." She gave a coin to the beggar, who promised to send a snake charmer as she went. Presently, an old man appeared at the gate and announced himself as the snake charmer. They gathered around him. He spoke to them of his life and activities and his power over snakes. They asked admiringly, "How do you catch them?" "Thus," he said, pouncing upon an imaginary snake on the ground. They pointed at the direction in which the cobra had gone and asked him to go ahead. He looked helplessly and said, "If you show me the snake, I will catch it at once. Otherwise, what can I do? The moment you see it again, send for me. I will live nearby." He gave his name and departed. At 5 in the evening, they threw away their sticks and implements and retired to the veranda to rest. They had turned up every stone in the garden and cut down every grass blade and shrub so that the tiniest insect coming into the garden should have no cover. They were loudly discussing the various measures they would take to protect themselves against reptiles in the future, when Dasa appeared before them, carrying a water pot whose mouth was sealed with a slab of stone. He put the pot down and said, I have caught him in this. I saw him peeping out of it. I saw him before he could see me. He explained at length the strategy he had employed to catch and seal up the snake in the pot. They stood at a safe distance and gazed on the pot. Dasa had the glow of a champion on his face. Don't call me an idler hereafter, he said. Mother complimented him on his sharpness and wished she had placed some milk in the pot as a sort of religious duty. He picked up the pot cautiously and walked off, saying that he would leave the pot and its contents with a snake charmer living nearby. He became the hero of the day. They watched him in great admiration and decided to reward him adequately. It was 5 minutes since Dasa had gone when the youngest son cried, See there! Out of a hole in the compound wall, a cobra emerged. It glided along towards the gate, paused for a moment to look at the gathering in the veranda with its hood half raised. It crawled under the gate and disappeared along a drain. When they recovered from the shock, they asked, Does it mean there are two snakes here? The college boy murmured, I wish I had taken the risk and knocked the water pot from Dasa's hand. We might have known what it contained. R.K Narayan is a well-known Indian writer in English. He wrote several novels and short stories that won him many awards. They deal with the peculiarities of human relationships and the realities of Indian life. Most of his novels are set in the imaginary South Indian town of Malgudi. Now we can discuss the questions. Identify the references to time, locale, and the character in the first part of the story. Time is afternoon, and the scene a road. A character a cyclist. Why did the cyclist ring the bell and shout? He saw a snake cross his wheel and enter the compound of the house. What did the members of the family accuse the gardener of? The family accused Dasa of being lazy. What do you mean by snake menace? Have you heard of any other such menaces? Snake menace is the harm caused by snakes. Other one I heard was mad dog menace. Why did the mother give a coin to the beggar? The beggar promised to send a snake charmer. What did the old man declare? The old man declared that he is a snake charmer who has power over snakes. Why did the snake charmer say that he was helpless? He can catch the snake only if it is visible. But here the snake was nowhere to be seen. How did Dasa become the hero of the day? Dasa saw he had caught the snake in a water pot. He explained at length the strategy he had employed to catch and seal up the snake in the pot. Thus, he proved himself to be a hero. Do you think there were two snakes in the premises? Give reasons for your answer. In my opinion, there was only one snake. Dasa acted like he had caught the snake because he had to protect himself of the neighbor's accusations and of dismissal from his job. We can discuss activities for this chapter in another video. Till then, keep in touch.